morning. Happy belated Ostara and happy Easter. Wherever you may be in this journey we call life, know that we welcome you here with our beloved community. Welcome to All People's Church, Unitarian Universalist. I am Evelyn Thorne, and I go by he, she, they, them pronouns. I am your co-celebrant for today. Is our minister, Lori King Nelson, who goes by she, they pronouns. Our theme for the month of April is Embracing Possibility. Embracing possibility is a mindset shift that empowers individuals to see beyond limitations, fostering an optimistic, open approach to life's unexpected turns, growth, and potential. It involves letting go of rigid expectations to create space for new opportunities and personal development. We're especially pleased to welcome those who have not been here before. Welcome to our blessed community. For more information about us, please utilize the QR code found on the back of the order of service for our social media platforms. If you haven't yet done so, please sign in at the visitors table by the front door, where you can be placed on our mailing list to receive weekly emails and the monthly newsletter. At the end of the service, please stay and join us for potluck in Coleman Hall after the service. Please settle comfortably now for our musical prelude.
Yes. What a blessed thing on Easter morning to have this beautiful music, and we have more to come with the choir as well. So you picked a good day to be here. We're going to call ourselves to worship with words by Ted Loder. Loving God, I pray that you will nurture me into newness. Set me free from the tyrannies of habit and complaining and blaming. Shake me from the dusty melancholy of too much comfort, pride, and pretense. That, as if on the first day of creation, I may begin to see the miracle of life and humanity. to hear the hum of grace unfolding to meet all my needs, unexpectedly and surprisingly, and urging me to go on in faith to whatever is next in love.
We now invite you to rise in body or spirit for the chalice lighting, opening hymn, and spoken affirmation. Our chalice lighting words come from Reverend Scott Taylor. We light this flame in a world so much has grown dark. May it remind us that the spark can always be struck, and very little is inevitable. Most of its mystery and magnificent surprise, which means new and yet to be imagined worlds, always await. Which means a door has already swung wide, with possibility waiting on the threshold, ready to pull us through.
Tell your brother that he will help me.
Our hymn for the month of April is 1026, If Every Woman in the World, an anti-war hymn.
Okay.
It seemed an appropriate choice for these times. Please join us now in singing number 1026, If Every Woman in the World. Please join us now in reciting our affirmation. The words are in the order of service and also projected on the screens. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. Please be seated. The young and young at heart are now invited to come forward for our time for all ages here at the front of the chancel.
So, what do Unitarian Universalists believe that Easter is about? I actually don't know, was the response.
I don't know. Jesus died.
Okay.
And then he rose from death.
And then he rose from the dead. That's right. That's some Unitarian Universalists do believe that. That's right. Yeah. Okay. And sometimes we learn those beliefs from people in our family, right? Like I grew up believing that, and
And somebody at my school said it when my teacher said when God was dead and then rose from death. Yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of things that happen at this time of year that UUs believe are a part of the Easter celebration. And in case you also have that same response that I just don't know, we have a pamphlet out there in the foyer that will tell you all the different things that UUs believe about Easter, okay? It says Unitarian Universalist Views of Easter, and it's written by Mark W. Harris. Okay? And if you never noticed that it was out there, neither did I until somebody brought it to my attention last week. So I'm going to leave this here. Yeah, so I don't know if there's enough pamphlets for all of us, but I know that Carl can print more, for sure. So I wanted to read a little something that a UU minister wrote about this, about Jesus being in the tomb and then them not finding anybody there when they rolled away the stone. You know about that story? Nope? Okay. Well, if you stayed in service today, you might learn a little bit about it. What?
I just saw a post on Tumblr about it.
You saw a post on Tumblr about that with cartoon characters. We learn from a lot of different sources of where's Jesus. So this minister says nobody knows for sure why he wasn't there. Some people believe there was a miracle and Jesus was brought back from the dead. Other people believe that people who cared deeply about Jesus had already come and taken his body and buried it with loving hands far away from that cave. Still others believe that the whole story of Jesus is in itself not a true story in a literal way, but a myth, which means a story we use to talk to each other about big ideas. As Unitarian Universalists, we don't all think of this story in the same way, but, well, said one of the kids, why don't we just Google it? And sometimes, as UUs, we have to do that very thing. We'll see it on Tumblr. We'll see it on TikTok. We will hear the stories told from our families, maybe our grandmothers or our aunt or someone.
I didn't hear about that myth until I saw it today on Tumblr.
Really? Okay. So you learned something. Well, I'm going to be talking about another myth today that relates to Jesus. So I just wanted to share that with you, that in this day and age, Google is the thing we shoot straight to, right? When we don't know something. Oh, good articles, but how are you reaching them? Are you doing an internet search for a good article?
There's actually, I think there's a version of Google which will only show you the articles.
Oh, okay.
It's really good for students.
Okay. That's great.
Remember, guess how I found out about that, too?
On Tumblr?
Yes.
Go on the internet and find ways to be on the internet through Tumblr. I want y'all to have a wonderful Easter, and I want everybody to have a necklace this morning. If I don't have enough, pass one down. If I don't have enough, I have more in my office. Okay. Oh, I think I do have enough, actually. Is that right? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. You may keep them. You may also pick out an Easter surprise. Okay. There's something inside them.
I want to get this one.
Okay.
I want to get this.
All right. And if y'all want to take some other necklaces, feel free to.
I want to see what's in it.
Okay. Well, wait to open it. Wait to open it up until y'all are heading out. Okay. Here's some that are just hanging out on the side if you want. All right. You can have two of them. Go ahead.
Of these?
Yeah. Oops. All right.
Okay, this is all.
Grab two. Do you want another
I
duck?
want to definitely play with these. I want a necklace too.
You want, okay. Do you want that or green?
Green.
Okay. There you go.
So I wonder what's in the room.
Ooh, I don't know. You'll have to go find out.
I know my
Okay. And
There's a duck playing.
if you come back at the end of service, you'll be able to help me extinguish the flame. Do you know what that means? Put it out. That's right. Okay?
Is that going to be like every week she puts it on and I put it on?
Well, I think that we're going to work on it a little bit. Sometimes y'all will switch. Whoever is here gets to help do it, okay? All right. Well, we will see you later, okay? Don't forget your egg that's behind you. Okay.
It's not mine.
Oh, is it yours?
No.
Okay.
Is it the old one? It's mine.
It's a mystery, like Jesus. All right, let's sing them out.
So as some of you all know, we're currently in the middle of our stewardship drive. Dan Sexton is here to talk to us about that.
Thank you. I'm Dan Sexton, and I'm helping with this year's stewardship campaign, and I want to go over just a few nuts and bolts of church finance. So this campaign is for next fiscal year's budget. So that's July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. So that next fiscal year, 12 months, we are putting our pledges of money and time in for what we expect to give over that period of time. And we've made a draft budget, and that is a deficit budget. So it has income of $235,000 and expenses of $254,000. So we're $19,000 in deficit, and we've had a deficit budget the last several years and have been able to scrape by. But if we do a stronger pledge drive, then our deficit will be less. So we're striving for that. We're doing better every year, and we're working towards a balanced budget. And I want so much for this church. Give Minister Lori more than half time, hire a religious education coordinator, paint the building, et cetera, et cetera. We have lots of things we need, and I believe we will do all that. We just need to get on our feet, confidently paying our bills, and then we can kind of talk about what are our aspirations for, money coming in after that. So I ask each and every one of you to fill out your pledge card with both the dollars and the hours, the time that you expect to spend volunteering at church. Pledge cards are available in the foyer, and me and Tony Collins will be out by the pledge table, able to answer any questions you've got about church finance or pledging. Thank you.
Thank you.
What? The reading.
How many ways can you think about Jesus up in the sky, as vague as your thesis, unknown. How do I know yet? How do I know yet? All of us ache for answers to questions. We're up on the hillside, waiting, awaking. Oh, Gabriel, when will you speak to me?
I think I asked a lot of them, so. Oh, okay.
Same country skies on the path to Damascus. The dimming of the day, all the subtle same yard, same carving his name. Oh, people, we're all in the light. Same smells in the air as the seasons keep. We're all in the light. I remember when I was 17. It's all held together by services and sacrament. Faith is like harmonies, clay bowls and firmament. Oh, honey, I am the honest one. I am the honest one. For means autumn and I old sunny air. Pick me up and set me right. Lay in this field, listen to the sound. Carl, you out on the ocean. Autumn pokes me in the side, 'cause they all feel the motion. And we move along with the side swell. Road that leads slide swell. Been on fire. Beauty and the strength on crickets cradle the softly blue bruising sky.
I appreciate y'all trying to do this. I do. Not sure what happened, but honestly, it's a really beautiful and meaningful song for Easter morning. The words are on the insert in here, and so you can just read them yourself. At this time in our service, we pause to honor and to give time and attention to those things most important to us. We gather here for healing and for peace in our hearts and in the world, and honor our time together with the shared stories and news from the congregation. Each week, there's a journal outside the entrance to the sanctuary where you can write a message of memory or hope. We honor these messages by lighting 3 candles here next to our chalice. Also, at any time during our service, you are welcome to come forward and light a candle in our meditation center here next to the chancel. From our book of memory and hope this morning, we include that Tom Detmer's father passed away on Wednesday this past week. Gordon passed away at the age of 92. He lived a wonderful, full life, having bicycled over 1,000 miles each summer in Minnesota. Please keep his family in your thoughts. David Bendy has a special request for prayers and positive thoughts for his brother-in-law, Burnell, who had a massive stroke on Monday. And he thanks you for your support in that. We're going to pause for a few moments of meditation, followed by silence to hold and uplift the sorrows and celebrations, both spoken and unspoken among us. And then Misha will lift our hearts with music. Let's find a comfortable position. Maybe put your feet both flat on the floor. You can either keep your head up or rest it downward. Close your eyes. Let us do the unthinkable thing. We'll sit and breathe together on the edge of our seats in a world that pollinates and reproduces, shape-shifting and breaking into bloom. Let us sit and breathe together as one breath. Sit still just long enough for each of our dreams to rise and silently hover above us. Dreams mingling like old transcendent friends, floating, finally free and light. Each of our dreams stripping away fear like unnecessary winter layers that obey gravity all the way to the ground. Far too heavy for the likes of us. We, the living, on Easter Sunday. It was beautiful. Thank you. I feel like this morning the universe said absolutely not to that music, and then also said we're going to make it as hard as possible to keep the flame lit. So we're just going to be like, thank you for coming back to us, and move on from there. Which goes with our theme for the month, embracing possibility, because there's always the possibility that something could go wrong. And we just have to roll with it, right? So Moses, Jesus, and the Easter Bunny are on the planning committee for the world's holiday schedule. Moses says, I'll take Passover. I've already got the parting of the seas planned. Jesus says, I'll take Easter Sunday, and boy, do I have a surprise in store for everyone. The Easter Bunny sighs and says, fine, but I'm not hiding eggs in the Red Sea, and I'm definitely not doing the tomb again. So what if those roles were switched? What if the Easter Bunny had been nailed to a cross and we relived that every year? What if we told our kids, excited for the egg hunt, that Jesus hadn't finished hiding the eggs yet because Moses forgot to color them? Or what if each year we replicated the behavior of any one of these characters to represent activism, socialism, or love? Spending days as activists doing the work to heal people and communities, dipping our toes into anarchy and socialism, and setting individuals and even whole groups free, leaving little Easter eggs of love and kindness that are life-changing. I think all of this is well within the story of Easter, especially if we imagine the crucifixion as the ills of the world and resurrection as our hope of reparation. We can look at winter as the bleak experience of those on the margins of society, and springtime as our ability to bring forth rebirth of the earth and all that inhabits it. We can even rewrite these stories and create a mixture of both. When the stories are so familiar, we tend to miss the deeper message, and changing them up helps us to see the characters and their actions in a different light. Many years ago, a member of a church I served decided, since he was to play Jesus in the Easter worship, that he would fast throughout Lent. He wanted to know what it might have felt like to be Jesus during that tumultuous time where politics ruled and new religions were being formed. So he fasted for 40 days. This is a true story. He also left his car in the garage, walking everywhere he went. By Easter Sunday, he was thin and frail and looked to have aged about 20 years. There was an audible collective gasp from the congregation when he was raised up on the cross in the balcony during the cantata. Here was this man who had wanted to know what it felt like to be Jesus, wrapped in only a loincloth, starved and hanging from a cross, wearing a crown of thorns. He later told me that while he had a deeper understanding of the Easter story, since he had taken on that Lenten practice that year, he also realized he had the ability to walk in Jesus' sandals without starving himself half to death. Trading places changed him. And I saw that happen over the next several years as he began to work more closely with social service agencies and nonprofits focused on abolishing the death penalty here in Texas. I'm always drawn to the story in Mark, chapter 1, verses 40 to 45, that relates the interaction between the man with the skin condition. Sometimes they call him the leper, but we don't know what it was. But this interaction between that man and Jesus, the man asks that Jesus heal him. Jesus hesitates, and so the man asks him again, adding, "You can heal me, right?" That shakes Jesus up, because now he has to step up and practice what he's been preaching. He says, "Of course I can heal you." He touches the man and he sends him on his way with a warning not to tell anyone about this moment. Now, it doesn't really matter, not to me anyway, if Jesus could literally touch someone and heal their disease. But what about touching someone and healing their broken soul? I interpret this entire story to mean that someone brought hope and healing into the life of another and only wanted for them to be able to get back to the life they had been missing out on. This man, outcast, shunned, banned from the temple for being unclean, and Jesus comes to him, touches him, and shows him he is worthy of love and community and resources. This is a story of being present for others. It's that kind of healing. The kind of healing that comes from being present and understanding the experience of others. There's a story about a little girl who's telling her mother that she's afraid of the dark. And her mother tells her to pray and give her fears to Jesus. The little girl wrinkles her brow and says, I don't think so. I need someone with skin on. That's the trade. We model the behavior. And whether we are trading places with Jesus, Dolores Huerta, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Jimmy Carter, or even biblical Esther, who used her position of power to save her people, we must be the physical manifestation of godness with skin on. Do you remember the first time you saw Princess Diana visit an AIDS ward? Some of you may be too young to remember that. Images of her holding the hands of dying patients and sharing with them not only the kindest of words, but physical contact and her time. This during a time when people treated those with AIDS and HIV just like the man Jesus encountered in the book of Mark. I remember hearing people criticize her actions, and I thought, she's just doing what the biblical Jesus would have done. Princess Diana traded places with Jesus, fictional or historical Jesus. It doesn't matter. It's a sacrifice that brings about the resurrection of hope for a better world. And speaking of sacrifice, there's a conspiracy theory that's been around since the 1st century regarding Judas trading places with Jesus physically, so that Jesus could continue sharing his message without the threats of violence coming out of Rome. The theory places Judas on the cross, not Jesus. And it goes like this. The conspiracy theory is that Judas and Jesus pulled a tale of two cities and switched places prior to the crucifixion. And really, it makes a more meaningful story. And for those who don't know the biblical story, Judas has agreed to betray Jesus and will let the Roman soldiers know who Jesus is by greeting Jesus with a kiss. Once that happens, Jesus is to be arrested and charged with all sorts of nonsense, kind of like the Prairie Land defendants. Per the theory, the kiss is necessary to identify Jesus because he resembles Judas very closely due to them being related. After witnessing his arrest and trials, Judas feels remorse and arranges to visit Jesus. Their resemblance allows them to switch places. Judas undergoes torture and crucifixion. Jesus is seen posthumously before moving to a place where he can live out his days in obscurity. Judas's fate is described to others as gruesome, likely a suicide, but with no witnesses. This implies that his actual fate is unknown, but assumed. The resurrection story persists to serve as an inspiration. Positioning Jesus and Judas as close relatives, likely brothers, gives their interactions more depth and makes money a passive motivator for a character. Familial love and respect that becomes blinding envy is much more poignant. Now, while Cain's emotions regarding his brother Abel aren't detailed in the book of Genesis, a parallel could be drawn between the first earthly betrayal and this one. But unlike Cain, whose actions were final and not followed by remorse, Judas watched as the severity of his actions became clear, and he began to regret his choice. And I think we can deeply identify with that building sense of desperation experienced by Judas. If we allow ourselves to reimagine the Easter story, in the end, there was only one choice: to find a way to trade places with Jesus. Now, if Judas sought to right his wrong, he's required to act quickly and decisively. He acts alone, having been reasonably shunned by his companions, and he must have known the chances were still low. But still, I feel it's a diabolical plan. Reverting back to the canonized story for a moment, here's the fact that Jesus knew that his suffering would be a temporary inconvenience, right? Followed by an eternal benefit. Whether or not that's even a sacrifice is still up for debate. But in the theory version, Judas had no such guarantee. On the contrary, he had no reason to expect anything but damnation. He was, in essence, choosing to walk into hell. His sacrifice would be absolute. The fact that the record is never set straight only makes him a more compelling character. He didn't seek to redeem himself, as evidenced by the fact that he didn't appeal to anyone for help. He only acted to try to save someone else from his choices. History allows him to fill the role of traitor. His name becomes synonymous with betrayal and selfishness. As readers of this theory, we become privy to a more complex person whose ruined image is just a caricature. This redemption of Judas is far more interesting and engaging than the canon version. Judas is a character we can care about, and his actions are meaningful. We've all been there, in that place where our actions can bring failure or success, sorrow or joy, enslavement or freedom. As far as stories go, it has more inspirational value and more potential for interpretation and discussion because we relate to the complexities Judas's experience brings. Now, I'm not much on conspiracy theory, but I have to say that this one does make a better story, and most religious theorists are in agreement about that. One says, picking the theory apart factually is a bit like arguing over whether or not a caterpillar can be genuinely very hungry since they don't produce ghrelin, as if that has anything to do with whether or not it's a good story. I believe what matters here is possibility and inspiration. Reimagining stories in order to make them more relatable can motivate and inspire us into action. And we certainly need that today. Whether we are observing this time of year as Christian or Jew, Buddhist or Hindu, or pagan or atheist, or whatever place you find yourself as you move through this life, be the person who willingly trades places with Jesus to do the work that heals the sick and feeds the hungry. Be that person who brings their very presence to the lonely and leaves gifts of hope. Be the one who would stand between humanity and hate and only speak love. Be the divine with skin on. I now ask you to rise in body or spirit and sing our closing hymn, number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again.
Our chalice closing words are from Reverend Tandy Rogers. May possibility take root where certainty once stood. May curiosity lead the way. May you loosen your grip, open your hands, and find that something unexpected it is already unfolding.
Apparently that was the only light that wanted to really stay lit today. Our benediction this morning. I earnestly believe that our sacrifice for others matters. We can be the resurrection that makes Easter a news story for the ages. Today is Potluck Sunday, along with being Easter, and we hope each of you will stay for a meal with us. Whether or not you brought anything, there's always so much food. Please stay and enjoy the fellowship with us. Have a wonderful day.